State Insurance Company has pledged to continue to finance the National Spellbound Championship. Spell the word finance. The ox has eaten all of the farmer's vegetables. Spell the plural of ox. Spell the plural of bando.
Bando.
Spell the word 12th.
12.
A pleasant evening, everyone. The State Insurance Company Limited presents the National Spellbound Series 2023 once more. So the Education Broadcasting Unit within the Ministry of Education has a night packed with a lot of energy and a lot of spelling and a lot of excitement for you. I am your moderator, Cleopatra Henry Joseph, and I'm pleased this evening to introduce you to our competing schools. We start with Zone 1, Old Road Primary School, and we begin with Captain Phoebe Lucien.
Good evening.
J.D. Anthony.
Good evening.
Sky Mead.
Good evening.
And the standby team of the Old Road Primary School, we have Michaela Ellis.
Good evening.
Keontae Byers.
Good evening.
And Kiana Alfred.
Good evening.
Put your hands together for the Old Road Primary School. Zone 2 is represented by the Piers Primary School, and we're joined by Captain Dejana Carr.
Good evening.
Epiphany Brown.
Good evening.
Danielle Kelly.
Good evening.
And we're also joined by the standby team, Talia Jeffrey.
Good evening.
Jonica Joseph.
Good evening.
And Lawrence Hill.
Good evening.
Put your hands together, please, for the Piers Primary School. Representing Zone 3, we have the Bendels Primary School, and the first person is Captain Amelia Russell.
Good evening.
Michaela Scott.
Good evening.
Isaac Watkins.
Good evening.
And the standby team, we have Joshua Thompson.
Good evening.
Melchizedek Brooks.
Good evening.
Jaira Skeppel.
Good evening.
And there we have it, the Bendels Primary School. Finally, we have Zone 4 represented by the Mary E. Pickett Primary School. We're joined by Captain Caton Parker.
Good evening.
Caleb O'Geese.
Good evening.
Cale Thomas.
Good evening.
That's our main team. And we go to the standby team. We begin with Jemmoor Thomas.
Good evening.
Kiwan Staber.
Good evening.
And finally, Kimer John.
Good evening.
And there we have it, the Mary E. Pickett Primary School. At this point in time, please permit me to introduce our judges. We have our head judge, Miss Clydella Marsh. And she's joined by her assistant, Mrs. Karen Brown Francis, and she's the education officer in the Ministry of Education responsible for school library services. Please put your hands together for our judges. We're also joined by Aisha Lynch, and she will be the timekeeper for this evening. Please put your hands together for Aisha Lynch. We will pause for a brief word from our sponsors, the State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
This very moment, we believe in you as you believe in yourself, in your desire to secure a future there when you're needed most. Because confidence comes from understanding you're always in safe hands, and the security of knowing these are the moments for every achievement, every step of the way. Live in a better state of mind with State Insurance Company Limited.
and welcome back to the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. We begin at this time with the segment 1, Everyday Words. And spelling first, we have the Old Road Primary School, and we begin with Captain Phoebe Lucien. Phoebe, are you ready?
Yes.
State Insurance Company has pledged to continue to finance the National Spellbound Championship. Spell the word finance.
Finance. F-I-N-A-N-C-E.
And that is correct for 5 points. JD, you're next. The supervisor of elections oversees the ballot preparation. Spell the word supervisor.
Supervisor
And I'm sorry there, JD. And we know what just happened, okay? He spelled starting with the incorrect letter, and automatically he would have lost the chance to gain 5 points for the team. But JD, we know that you can spell that word. Can we spell? So everybody, let's spell the word. Let's go. Supervisor. Let's go.
Supervisor. S-U-P-E-R-V-I-S-E-R.
Supervisor. That's correct. Okay. We go on now to the third speller of the Old Road Primary School. Sky Mead is next. The youth president of my church has been re-elected. Spell the word president.
President. President.
That is correct for 5 points. And we had a good effort there by the Old Road Primary School. We now move over to the Pierce Primary School, who will be spelling second. And we have our captain, Dejana Carr. Physical fitness is becoming an important element in our lives. Spell the word element.
Element. E-L-E-M-E-N-T. Element.
And that is correct for 5 points. Epiphany, you're next. The combined opposition in the lower house will occupy 8 out of the 17 seats. Spell the word opposition.
Opposition. O-P-P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N.
That is correct for another 5 points. And finally, for the Pace Primary School, we have Danielle Kelly. Ben's wide grin manifested his appreciation for the generous gift of school supplies. Spell the word generous.
Generous. G-E-N-E-R-O-U-S.
That is also correct, and that's a perfect round coming out of the Pierce Primary School. So we begin with the Bendels Primary School, and we start with Captain Amelia Russell. Some voters believe that there should be a cap on campaign contribution. Spell the word contribution.
Contribution. C-O-N-T-R-I-B-U-T-I-O-N.
And that's correct for 5 points. Michaela Scott. You must use a new strategy if you wish to improve production. Spell the word strategy.
Strategy. Strategy. S-T-R-A.
And I'm so sorry there, judges. You will dictate what happens. So I know the rule is when you begin spelling, you must continue to spell. You're allowed to pause, but after that pause, you must continue spelling. So I'm so sorry, Michaela. S-T-R-A-T-E-G-Y. That's the spelling of the word strategy. Isaac, you're next. We should focus on the cultural aspects of the problem. Spell the word cultural.
Cultural. C-U-L-T-U-R-A-L.
And that's correct for 5 points. Representing zone for the Mary Pickett Primary School is spelling next. Caton Parker, captain. In mathematics, a cylinder is a 3-dimensional shape. Spell the word cylinder.
Cylinder. C-Y-L-I-N-D-E-R.
And that's correct for 5 points. Caleb, you're next. The Public Works Department is responsible for maintaining all roads. Spell the word responsible.
Responsible. RESPONSIBLE.
That's correct for another 5 points. And finally, we have Kale. Has any of the election results been appealed? Spell the word appealed.
Appealed. APPEALED.
And that's another 5 points for the Mary Pickett Primary School and also a perfect round. At this point in time, we will break or pause for a brief word from our sponsors, the State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
My name is Kalicia Latoya Edwards. I am 35 years old. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I joined the group insurance when I joined ACB Caribbean. So having that insurance is very beneficial to my child. If I die, my daughter will have something. My mother's not working. My siblings have their responsibilities. When you give your customer the utmost attention, making sure your customer is satisfied, and not just selling them a product, but delivering the product. And I think State Insurance definitely does that. It provides me with great medical service. I'm able to go in with a card, pay 20%. It allows me to take that funds that I would originally have to pay full for and put it somewhere else. So that's amazing. It gives me security and comfort to know that I don't always have to pay 100%.
Welcome back, everyone, to the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. And if you're just joining us, let me remind you that we just ended round 1, everyday words, and I have your scores for you. We have the Old Road Primary School with 10 points. The Pierce Primary School with 15 points. The Bendels Primary School with 10 points. And we have the Mary Pickett Primary School with 15 points. So we have 2 schools with 10 and 2 schools with 15 going forward now into segment 2, demon words. Now we know about demon words. Sometimes they can be challenging. Sometimes they sound one way but are spelled a different way. So we're going to take our time, we're going to project our voices, and we're going to spell and we're going to say our words. Are we ready, teams?
Yes.
So we begin now with demon words segment 2. The Old Road Primary School is going to be spelling first. Phoebe Lucien is the captain. I heard the election updates on ABS television. Spell the word heard.
Heard. HEARD.
That's correct for 5 points. JD, Anthony. Breathing is the process of moving air into and from the lungs. Spell the word breathing.
BREADTH.
And that is incorrect, JD. There's an error there. And the word is breathing. So it's BREATHING, breathing. Sky, you're next. From the Old Road Primary School. Ready, Sky? Why did you leave your empty glasses on the table? Spell the word empty.
Empty. EMPTY.
And that's correct for 5 points. Let's move on now to the Pierce Primary School. And Captain Dejanakar is ready. Mr. and Mrs. Gordon will celebrate their 12th wedding anniversary in May. Spell the word 12th.
12th. TWELVTH.
And that is incorrect. And a real spelling demon there, 12th. But let's spell it. It begins with a T. Let's spell TWELFTH. And that's 12th. We're moving on now to Epiphany Brown, still at Pierce Primary School. The principal dealt promptly and fairly with their unruly behavior. Spell the word fairly.
Ferly.
And that is incorrect, Epiphany. So the word is fairly, and we're going to spell fairly. It's Fairly. Fairly. Daniel, you're next. John always grins 100% for every mathematics test. He is a genius. Spell the word genius.
Genius. Genius.
And that is correct for 5 points, coming from the Pierce Primary School. The Bendels Primary School is up next. And we begin with Amelia Russell, who's the captain. Ready, Amelia? Presently, mental health issues are taken more seriously. Spell the word health.
Health. Health.
That's correct for 5 points. Michaela Scott. The recipe required almond and cashew nuts. Spell the word almond.
Almond. AMOND.
And that is incorrectly spelled, and that one is another demon. There is a particular letter there that is silent. We don't hear it when we pronounce it. And sometimes persons pronounce the word as almond just so they can remember that spelling. So let's spell the word almond. Let's go. ALMOND. Correct. And we continue with Isaac Watkins coming out of the Bendels Primary School. My grandpa said that I should not believe in ghosts or magic. Spell the word believe.
Believe. BELIEVE.
And that's correct for 5 points. Coming out there from the Bendels Primary School. And we have our final school spelling in segment 1, demon words. The Mary Pickett Primary School. We begin with Captain, and that's Keaton Parker. To uncover the truth, you need to search beneath the surface. Spell the word beneath.
Beneath. BENEATH.
That's correct. That's correct for 5 points. Caleb. The steak was delicious. Spell the word steak.
Steak. STEAK.
That's correct for another 5 points. And finally, spelling in this segment, we have Cale Thomas. Coughing and sneezing can often be halted by the use of allergy medicine. Spell the word coughing.
COUGHING.
That's correct for 5 point scale. And we've just come to the end of segment 2, demon words. We'll pause for a brief word from our sponsors, the State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
Great customer service, in my view, can be defined as an exchange of information that is received well on both ends. Recently, I actually just had another baby, and at that point, I must say State Insurance has been very reliable. My name is Ellis Richards. I am a fitness trainer / training camp owner. My mom and her significant other encouraged me greatly to join the family plan because I would have needed something to target any health concerns that would arise in the future. Life insurance is something that we can never foresee, and if everyone is covered, it will actually reduce your liability of expenditure. Financial obligations should arise when medical expenses come about. We don't know what eventuality is going to come to us. It's going to meet all of us at some point. I believe that if I should sustain an injury doing skydiving, State Insurance would have my interest at heart and take care of me as things go on.
Welcome back to the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. We have just concluded segment 2, demon words, and the scores are as follows. We have the Old Road Primary School with 20 points. The Pierce Primary School also with 20 points. The Bendels Primary School also 20 points. And the Mary E. Pickett Primary School with 30 points. And we begin as usual with the Old Road Primary School, and Captain Phoebe will be spelling first. Do you know that the diameter of a circle is twice its radius? Spell the plural of radius.
Radii. R-A-D-I-I.
That's correct for 5 points. JD? Please put all garbage in the green bins. Spell the plural of garbage.
Garbage. G-A-R-B-A-G-E.
That's correct for another 5 points. Sky? When I visited Barbuda, I saw a deer. Spell the plural of deer.
Deer. D-E-E-R.
That's correct for another 5 points. And we have a perfect round coming out of the Old Road Primary School. Pierce Primary School is up to spell next with Dejana Carr, Captain. This child is so well-mannered. Spell the plural of child.
Children. C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. Children.
That's correct for 5 points, Dejana. Epiphany Brown, you're next. A mouse was caught on the trap. Spell the plural of mouse.
Mice. M-I-C-E.
That's correct for another 5 points. And we have Danielle Kelly, last speller of that school. My school will not be ordering new furniture. Spell the plural of furniture.
F-U-N-T-I-R-E-S.
And that is incorrect. Okay, you said the wrong letter first, and then that just threw you off. Okay, so I'm so sorry there, Pace Primary School. And we're going to move on to our third school that is going to be spelling. And we have the Bendels Primary School. And we begin with Captain Amelia Russell, that is. The ox has eaten all of the farmer's vegetables. Spell the plural of ox.
Oxen. O-X-E-N.
That's correct for 5 points. Michaela Scott. The cleaners removed the rubbish from the beach. Spell the plural of rubbish.
Rubbish. R-U-B-B-I-S-H.
That's correct for 5 points. And we have Isaac Watkins. My grandfather led his sheep to the pen. Spell the plural of sheep.
Sheep. S-H-E-E-P.
That's correct for another 5 points. And we have a perfect round coming out of the Bendels Primary School. Mary Pickett Primary School, and we begin with Captain Keaton Parker. She is wearing a multicolored bandeau. Spell the plural of bandeau.
Bandux. B-A-N-D-E-A-U-X.
That's correct for 5 points. Caleb. We were surrounded by cattle. Spell the plural of cattle.
Cattle. C-A-T-T-L-E.
That's correct for another 5 points. And finally, Cale Thomas. My sister's tooth has a small cavity. Spell the plural of tooth.
Teeth. T-E-E-T-H.
That's correct for another 5 points. And we have also a perfect round coming out of the Mary E. Pickett Primary School. And here ends segment 3, spelling words. We will break or pause briefly for a word from our sponsors, the State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
My name is Dr. Courtney Lewis. I am the Medical Director and CEO of the Dr. C. Lewis Medical and Associates Medical Clinic. You can never tell what's going to happen in life. The people that are clients of state insurance, they have such a firm trust in the company. When you hear them speak about the service and how well taken care of they felt, it motivates you to want to be a part of that as well. That was the first thing that really drew me to state insurance, connecting with the client, connecting with the person that you're trying to serve. And I actually ended up having an accident. The same day, the representative came out, checked up on me, made sure I was fine, made sure I got the full medical service that I could possibly get, from just giving coverage on health or life to now homeowners, vehicular, personal investments, diversifications of your portfolio. They go above and beyond to make you feel as though no matter what happens to you in the future, you're covered and they got your back. And no matter how difficult it gets, they'll be there with you.
Welcome back to the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. And if you're just joining us, we just concluded segment 3, spelling rules. And we're just going to review the rules that we're focused on. So, an irregular noun becomes plural by changing its spelling in other ways than adding s or es to the end of the word. And we looked at some examples. So first, please tell me what rule we were focused on. What spelling rule were we focused on? Singular and plural words, yes? Do we realize that? Singular and plural words. So we looked at the plural of mouse, which was mice, or which is mice. And the plural of radius is? Radii. And the plural of ox is?
Oxen.
Of oxen. And remember, the spelling changes. So we're not just adding s or es to these. Some irregular nouns have the same spelling for singular and plural forms. And we looked at words like cattle. The plural of cattle is?
Cattle.
And the plural of deer?
Deer.
And the plural of garbage?
Garbage.
And the plural of sheep?
Sheep.
And furniture?
Furniture.
So let us remember these when we speak and also when we do our writing. And we have the scores. Old Road Primary School, 35 points. The Pierce Primary School, 30 points. The Bendels Primary School, 35 points. And the Mary Pickett Primary School, 45 points. And at this point in time, we still have a very stiff competition going on here. So please let us bear in mind this as we go into our final segment, which is the spelling challenge or the speed round, as it is called. Let me remind you of the rules. So you have 60 seconds or 1 minute to spell as many words as you possibly can. You're allowed to say pass, then I'll give you an alternate word. You don't need to repeat the words, you just spell as I give you the words. Got it? Yes, okay. So we're going to say goodbye temporarily to the Pierce Primary School, the Bendels Primary School, and the Mary E. Pickett Primary School. So we're at the speed challenge round, and we are beginning with the Old Road Primary School, and spelling for her team, we have Sky Mead. Yes. Are you ready? Timekeeper, when you're ready. Judges, when you're ready. Met.
M-E-T.
Joke.
J-O-K-E.
Dish.
D-I-S-H.
Host.
H-O-S-T.
Drink.
D-R-I-N-K.
Sides.
S-I-G-H-T-S.
Quart.
Q-U-A-R-T.
Count.
C-O-U-N-T.
Burst.
B-U-R-S-T.
Shared.
S-H-A-R-E-D.
Paint.
P-A-I-N-T.
Must.
M-U-S-T.
Zero.
Z-E-R-O.
Minus.
M-I-N-U-S.
40.
F-O-R-T-Y.
Water.
W-A-T-E-R.
Dollar.
D-O-L-L-O-R.
Simple.
S-I-M-P-L-E.
Object.
O-B-J-E-C-T.
Figure.
F-I-G-U-R-E.
Notion.
N-O-T-I-O-N.
Cancel.
C-A-N-C-E-L.
Metric.
M-E-T-R-I-C.
Percent.
P-E-R-S-E-N-T.
Simplest.
S-I-M-P-L-E-S-T.
Product.
P-R-O-D-U-C-T.
Comparing.
C-O-M-P-A-R-E-N-T.
Divisor.
D-E-V-I-S-O-R.
Example.
E-X-A-M-P-L-E.
Solution.
S-U-L-I-T-I-O-N.
February.
F-E-B-R-U-A-R-Y.
Millions.
M-I-L-L-I-O-N-S.
And we ended there with Sky. Please put your hands together for Sky. And that was some effort coming out of the Old Road Primary School. Thank you very much, Sky, and thank you very much, Old Road Primary School. We have Daniel spelling for the Pierce Primary School. Ready when you are, Aisha? Met.
M-E-E-T.
Joke.
G-O-K-E.
Dish.
D-I-S-H.
Host.
H-O-S-T.
Drink.
D-R-I-N-K.
Sides.
S-I-D-E-E-S.
Quart.
Pass.
Count.
C-O-U-N-T.
Burst.
B-U-R-S-T.
Shared.
S-H-A-R-E-D.
Paint.
Pass.
Must.
M-U-S-T.
Zero.
Z-E-R-O.
Minus.
M-I-N-U-S.
40.
FROTY.
Water.
WATER.
Dollar.
DOLLAR.
Simple.
SIMPLE.
Object.
OBGEC.
Figure.
FIRGUE.
Notion.
Pass.
Cancel.
CANCEL.
Metric.
Pass.
Percent.
PR. Pass.
Simplest.
S. SIMPLEST.
Okay, and there you have it from the Pierce Primary School and Daniel, the speed speller. Okay, so we return to the speed challenge with the Bendels Primary School, and we have Captain Amelia doing the spelling. Ready when you are? Met.
M-E-T.
Joke.
J-O-K-E.
Dish.
D-I-S-H.
Host.
P-O-S-T.
Drink.
D-R-I-N-K.
Sides.
S-I-D-E-S.
Quart.
Pass.
Count.
C-O-U-N-T.
Burst.
B-U-R-S-T.
Shared.
Pass.
Paint.
P-A-I-N-T.
Must.
M-U-S-T.
Zero.
Z-E-R-O.
Minus.
M-I-N-U-S.
40.
F-O-R-T-Y.
Water.
W-A-T-E-R.
Dollar.
D-O-L-L-A-R.
Simple.
S-I-M-P-L-E.
Object.
O-B-J-E-C-T.
Figure.
F-I-G-U-R-E.
Notion.
N-O-T-I-O-N.
Cancel.
C-A-N-C-E-L.
Metric.
M-E-T-R-I-C.
Percent.
P-E-R-C-E-N-T.
Simplest.
S-I-M-P-L-E-S-T.
Product.
P-R-O-D-U-C-T.
Comparing.
C-O-M-P-A-R-I-N-G.
Divisor.
D-E-V-I-S-O-R.
Example.
E-X-A-M-P-L-E.
Solution.
S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N.
February.
F-E-B-U. F-E-B-U-R-A-R-Y.
Okay, and there you have it coming out of the Bendels Primary School and Captain Amelia. We now have the Mary Pickett Primary School attempting the speed challenge round, and we have Captain Keaton Parker in position. Are you ready? When you're ready. Met.
M-E-T.
Joke.
J-O-K-E.
Dish.
D-I-S-H.
Host.
P-O-S-T.
Drink.
D-R-I-N-K.
Sides.
S-I-D-E-S.
Quart.
Q-U-A-R-T.
Count.
C-O-U-N-T.
Burst.
B-U-R-S-T.
Shared.
S-H-E-E-R-D.
Paint.
P-A-I-N-T.
Must.
M-U-S-C.
Zero.
Z-E-R-O.
Minus.
M-I-N-U-S.
40.
F-O-R-T-Y.
Water.
W-A-T-R.
Dollar.
D-O-L-L-A-R.
Simple.
S-I-M-P-L-E.
Object.
O-B-J-A-C-T.
Figure.
F-I-G-U-R-E.
Notion.
N-O-T-I-O-N.
Cancel.
C-A-N-C-E-L.
Metric.
M-E-T-R-I-C.
Percent.
P-R-C-E-N-T.
Simplest.
S-I-M-P-L-E-S-T.
Product.
P-R-O-D-U-C-T.
Comparing.
C-O-M-P-A-R-I-N-G.
Divisor.
D-I-V-I-S-O-R.
Example.
E-X-A-M-P-L-E.
Solution.
S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N.
February.
F-E-B-U-A-R-A-R-Y.
Millions.
M-I-L-L-I-O-N-S.
Estimation.
E-S-T-I-M-A-T-I-O-N-S.
Okay, and there you have it, the Mary Pickett Primary School and Captain Keaton Parker. Thank you very much, Mary Pickett Primary School. And we've come to the end of the Speed Challenge round. We will hear from our sponsors, the State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
My name is Divya Joseph. I'm a fitness model. I work at Customs. The payments outside, when you actually go to the doctor office, so it's kind of high, honestly. So without being covered by state insurance, I've been here for 7 years. I ain't seen no way better than this. They actually sustain the criteria that they actually put up to you within the policies. So by them telling you that we have this covered for you and that covered for you, they actually sustain it throughout every single thing that they actually do, whether it's life, medical, or even car insurance, which I'm actually covered by, all three. They have me covered. State insurance family, I feel they're part of my life also. So one time, I actually wanted to actually work here, just because of how they actually treat me. Have a seat, you want coffee, you want this. I'll be like, wow, this place is different. From the security outside, all friendly people. You can't go wrong.
And welcome back, everyone, to the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. We have just ended segment 4, which is the spelling challenge round. And before we go any further, I will give you the scores. Okay, we begin with the Old Road Primary School. And we can recall that Sky was the one who spelled for her team, the Old Road Primary School. I was able to call out 32 words for Sky, and of the 32 words, Sky was able to spell 25 of her words correctly, gaining an additional 50 points for her team. Put your hands together for Sky of the Old Road Primary School. For the Pierce Primary School, we had Daniel spelling for the speed round. And Daniel, I was able to call out 25 words for Daniel. Of the 25 words, Daniel spelled 13 words correctly, and he was able to gain an additional 26 points for his team. Put your hands together for Daniel. For the Bendels Primary School, we had Amelia, the captain, spelling. I was able to call out 31 words for Amelia, and she spelled 27 of the 31 words correct. She gained an additional 54 points for her team. Put your hands together for Amelia. And finally, the Mary Pickett Primary School, we had Captain Caton Parker spelling. I was able to call out 33 words for Caton, and he spelled 30 of his 33 words, gaining an additional 60 points for his team. Put your hands together once more for Caton Parker of the Mary Pickett Primary School. So let us now look at the final scores. The Old Road Primary School, let me start with Pierce Primary School first, please. Pierce Primary School, 56 points. Old Road Primary School, 85 points. The Bendels Primary School, 89 points. And the Mary E. Pickett Primary School, 105 points. We just want to congratulate each of the schools at this point in time for participating. And just being here and participating means that you did an awesome job. Okay? Words were challenging here and there, but you made an effort, and it's always important just to do your best and show up. So please put your hands together again for the various teams. At this point in time, we do have to say goodbye to Old Road Primary School and Pierce Primary School. The two schools advancing to round 2 will be the Bendels Primary School with 89 points and the Mary E. Pickett Primary School with 105 points. Put your hands together for both schools, please. And at the end of this challenging competition, I'm going to give the spokespersons or captains of the team an opportunity to give a few words on behalf of their teams. And we're going to begin firstly with the Old Road Primary School.
Firstly, I would like to thank God and my team members. And I would like to congratulate the winning team. I would like to thank my moderator and the judges.
Thank you very much for that, Phoebe. Let's hear now from Dejana of the Pierce Primary School.
I would like to thank everyone that came here today, especially the people from the different schools who came supporting and trying to represent their school. I want to congratulate the winning team. I want to thank the moderator, my teammates, and my school's audience that I have. And I thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much for that, Dejana. Let's hear now from Captain Amelia from the Bendels Primary School.
Firstly, I would like to thank the Almighty God for giving me the strength and the knowledge to go through this day. Secondly, I would like to thank my teachers and my classmates for helping me to study and to continue. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents for guiding me and for I'd like to thank my parents and the judges for helping me. And I would also like to thank the moderator.
Thank you very much. Amelia from the Bendels Primary School. Finally, we'll hear from Keaton Parker, the captain of the Mary E. Pickett Primary School.
Firstly, I would like to thank God for waking us up this morning so that we could be here. I would like to thank my trainer, Miss Henry Phillip, for sacrificing her time and her effort and her patience so that we can be where we are today. I would like to thank my family for giving us emotional support when we needed it and encouraging us. Lastly, I would like to thank the moderators and the judges for helping us and being there to encourage us and show us what we needed to do. I would like to congratulate the winning teams, and I wish them the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Keaton Parker of the Mary Pickett Primary School. So we've saved the best for last. When I call your names, that is the best spellers, you'll come forward. If you are a lady or female, you will curtsy. If you're a male, you will take a bow. Okay? We begin with the Old Road Primary School, and we have Captain Phoebe Lucien. Put your hands together. She's a best speller, yes? Sky Mead of the Old Road Primary School will also join her. The Bendels Primary School, we have Amelia Russell. And we also have Isaac Watkins. From the Mary Pickett Primary School, we have Captain Keaton Parker. Caleb Ogis. And also Cale Thomas. Put your hands together for the best spellers. And I'm loving what I'm seeing here. We have 3 young ladies and we have 4 boys. And we love to see when we have kind of an even or slightly even distribution between males and females. Thank you very much, best spellers. You did an excellent job today, this evening. Having concluded round 1 in preparation for round 2 in the State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series, we will proceed with a draw to determine which of the qualifying schools will be competing in the upcoming encounters. I'm just going to give you an announcement of the various schools that will be participating in round 2 because they have qualified. They've gone through round 1 and they have qualified and would have advanced to round 2. We have the St. Nicholas Primary School, the Erlins Primary School, the Nelvie N. Gore Primary School, the Green Bay Primary School, Freemansville Primary School, T.N. Kernan Primary School, Sunnydale Primary School, Mary Pickett Primary School, and finally the Bendels Primary School. Put your hands together for those champion schools. Now please let me note that our Spellbound champions for 2022 received an automatic bye into round 2, encounter 1. I'm going to ask someone to assist me in pulling the names of the 2 schools that will be joining the Sunnydale Primary School in round 2, encounter 1. And let me repeat, it's the St. Nicholas Primary School. Thank you very much. And I'll repeat, Freemansville Primary School. Thank you very much, Bendels Primary School, for your assistance. Okay, so those schools, that is the Sunnydale Primary School, the Freemansville Primary School, as well as the St. Nicholas Primary School, will be competing in round 2, encounter 1. Thank you. Bendels Primary School. So that's Nelvie N. Gore Primary School. And the Green Bay Primary School will join the the Nelvi N. Gore Primary School, as well as the Bendels Primary School in round 2, encounter 2. The Erlins Primary School, the T.N. Kernan Primary School, and the final school. Sorry, you pull. So for encounter 3, round 2, we have the Erlins Primary School, the T.N. Kernan Primary School, and the Mary E. Pickett Primary School. So there we have it. Those are the schools that will be competing in round 2. So we've come to the end of round 1, encounter 4. And this marks the end of round 1 as well, too. I would like to say a thank you, a very big thank you to all the persons who came out this evening to view the Spellbound series. Remember, it's a State Insurance Company Limited National Spellbound Championship 2023 series. My name is Cleopatra Henry, your moderator, and I'm bidding you farewell. Please join us same time next week for another exciting Spellbound encounter.
I have been with State Insurance since, I believe, 2006. Life and medical insurance for me are not just important, but essential. Had it not been for the fact that I had medical insurance with State, I am not certain if I would have been able to get the treatment that I required. I have had persons dealing with my situations who are very responsive and persons who actually care. They're going to break things down for you and explain everything for you, because we know with insurance there's a lot of fine print. Great customer service to me speaks to empathy. It speaks to someone who is going to understand my needs and go all out. And so as an Antiguan, I feel very proud to know that a company like State Insurance exists for an Antiguan like myself.